Now, I don't usually cover meme launchpads, but today I feel like I have to make an exception. This particular launchpad has such an incredible amount of search volume, even though the peak of the pad is already, well, a year ago. So it's definitely worth taking a look at. Is HOPPY Launchpad still relevant? Of course, meme launchpads, they were thriving in the bull run. So, that begs the question, will they be able to thrive again when the market picks up or not? So we're going to look at the project, see if it has any potential left in it, if you missed your chance investing in HOPPY or not. So without further ado, let's get into this one. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me again today. Before we move forward, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. That's always very much appreciated. So yeah, and also I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence and your own research. All right, let's get started. So the HOPPY Meme Launchpad, again, was very popular in 2021 during the bull run. They focus on green energy, so they want to become a sustainable launchpad, and that is definitely one of their USPs. Part of their tokens is going to be donated to charity, and overall, they have a very environmentally free, green type of aesthetic as well to them. So that is their goal, that's what they stand for. Let's look at how they are doing right now, because of course their last piece of activity was all the way back in 2022 of March, and we're seeing that they haven't posted or launched anything ever since, which of course begs the question, is the team going to come back? Have they abandoned the project or not? We're going to dive into that in a little bit. If you want to skip forward to that part, move over to the timestamps below. First, we're going to look at the actual project, what it is, how the tiers look like, and then we're going to come back at this question and basically see if the project is dead or not. So let's get started with the short introduction here. You can get the tokens on PancakeSwap. It is incredibly cheap. As you can see over here, the token is currently going for, well, this ridiculously low amount. Definitely a meme coin amount, right? So moving over on the website, we do have everything right here. I know that a lot of people made a lot of money using the HOPPY Launchpad in the bull run, and that is part of the reason why the search volume is still so high. People are reminiscent to the better days, essentially, right? They know that people made a lot of money, and they knew that HOPPY had some great launches, and they want to get into that. Now, something that people have to understand is a bull run has this opportunity for every launchpad to make a lot of money, right? So, a meme pad doesn't have to be quality. It doesn't need quality projects in a bull run. In a bear market, it's different. So let's look at this. They have three tiers. So we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, baby, queen, and king. Now we can see a massive difference in the allocation. We can see 85% for the tier 1, only 13% for tier 2, and only 2% for tier 3. Now, the prices that we talk about are quite high. Look at this, 150 billion tokens. So, I mean, I don't even know how to put this into a calculator, you guys. Like 150, 1500, 15,000, 150K, 150 million. 150 billion, I suppose. I mean, it's even hard for me to calculate. And then you have this ridiculous token price with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then look at this, 2, 3. Well, I mean, this is as close as I get. I mean, clearly this is a wrong calculation, but it's even impossible for me to calculate this. I can definitely say that the biggest tier is probably only a couple of US dollars. I mean, this is nothing, right? So the prices of the tiers are absolutely laughable. And I suppose tier 3 and tier 2 are going to be even worse. I mean, they're probably going to be less than $1. So the prices are just non-existent, basically. Guaranteed allocation will be available for tier 1 and tier 2, but not for tier 3. And the lock days for all 3 tiers are going to be 7 days. Now, my God, are these some weird tokenomics? I mean, look at this. Very, very weird looking. Another thing that I would like to point out regarding the price is the volume. We'll get into the token in a little bit, but look at this. The volume is incredibly low, and on some days it's actually 0. So moving to the 1-day chart, we can see that there's about a $30, $25-ish volume, which is, well, might as well be non-existent. All right, so that is interesting to take note of and also very important. Moving down, however, we see here the tokenomics. Now, I mean, again, it is meme looking, right? And in the bull run, let's face it, no one really looks at these tokenomics, but it is important to look at them to see if they're going to be around for the next bull run, right? That's what we're trying to do here in this review, right? We're trying to see, are we going to see HOPPY make a comeback? And in order for that to even be possible, even if the team wants to, we need to see about the tokenomics. How strong are they? Now, what I see right here is an 8% tax rate per transaction. Look at this. Each HOP transaction will incur an 8% tax rate. And that is a lot. I mean, imagine paying an 8% fee on every single transaction you do. That is ridiculous. And as you can see, it goes to charity. It goes to a liquidity pool, and it goes to HOPPY holders. But let's face it, I mean, yes, giving some tokens to charity is good, but your customers don't care about it, right? This is not some green launchpad. This is a meme pad. People come here for one reason only, and that is to make some money. And to see them having to pay money per transaction for a charity that has not been doxed, we don't know what charity. Yeah, I mean, it's questionable at best. And of course, it's only 2%. The other 3% goes back into the liquidity pool and towards the holders, but still. Over here, we see the tokenomics. 36% went to Oxbull pre-sale because they have been launched by the Oxbull Launchpad. 24% will be going to the ecosystem, 10% liquidity, 10% marketing, and partnerships and advisory will have 10% as well. Team only getting 5%, and operations and development will also get 5%. So yeah, about the tokenomics, you know, the tax rate is hideous, and the charity is probably not the best for a meme pad. And for the rest, I mean, only 5% for the team. It is a weird looking tokenomics and not the strongest one at that either. Now, as for the roadmap, we're seeing a roadmap on the website, which is good, but we don't know when this was created. So we see here a roadmap for Q2, Q3, Q4. I assume this is 2021, but we don't know because they didn't put the time in. And they say here, HOPPY meme contest on social media, 5K HOPPY followers on Twitter and Telegram, the website launch, the audit contract, and the gamification storyline. Then here, secured launchpad partnerships, developing gamified beta version, and a bunch more things here in Q4. They launched 10 IDOs and did their first charity donation. But overall, I mean, the roadmap is good. I mean, they did make progress, and that's not the point, right? Around 2021, they made great progress. They had lots of IDOs, lots of good IDOs, and they did actually perform development on the website. So things were looking good back then, but of course we're looking at right now and in the future, and we've been seeing a lack of, well, anything coming from the HOPPY Launchpad. We can see here their partners, of course, Oxbull, because they were launched by that, and then here we see R8 Capital and Gains Associates. They don't mean anything to me. I don't really know them. So these are a very low amount of partners. I mean, again, Oxbull, they were launched by them, so that is not really a partner. R8 Capital and Gains Associates, I've never really heard of them, so quite irrelevant as well. And then in the news, we see Yahoo, Business Insider, Bazinga, and MarketWatch. Now again, this is just articles that were mentioning HOPPY. Not a partner, not the same at all. And it's also worth mentioning that it's only 4 articles that ever mentioned them. And well, let's face it, Yahoo mentioned everybody. And this was obviously also in the peak of the bull run when HOPPY was actually really relevant. So yeah, I mean, very weak partners overall. But I mean, overall, I mean, you guys expected this probably, that the Launchpad, if you dissect it, if you look at it for just a second, that is not the strongest build. So we're not going to go too deep into that. Now let's look at what I think will happen to Hoppy in the future. If I think that it has any potential, we're going to look at the token, and we're going to look at the Whitepaper and their current community. Their Telegram has some surprises waiting for us, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. So let's dive in. My personal prediction, what I think will happen to this Launchpad. All right. So the token price, of course, it is incredibly small. It has always been very small. However, as you can see over here at the peak, it was barely any higher than that. Very typical for a meme coin overall. As you can see, more than 15,000 people have this on their watch list. So it was a very big Launchpad. And as you can see here, the volume currently only at $6 since the past 24 hours, down 98%. Fully diluted market cap also down by 2.4%. And why am I still talking about Hoppy, right? Clearly the project died out. Well, if we move over to the BSC scan, right, Hoppy is working on the Binance Smart Chain. So if we move over to the BSC scan, what we can see is that still more than 9,000 addresses are holding the Hoppy Launchpad token, the Hoppy token. So there's clearly still a lot of people holding on to their tokens. Now, to be fair, the holders don't have a lot of them, right? As soon as we reach the top 50, we're already below $100. So there's only a handful of people that actually hold any meaningful amount. But as you can see, there are still hundreds of people that hold dozens of tokens. Why haven't they sold the tokens? I mean, clearly even the $18 is probably already tier 2 or tier 1. So these are, well, for Hoppy, relatively speaking, quite big investors. Now, of course, once we get to the 200, we already have holders below $10, right? So again, very small holders, but still holders nonetheless. If we see over here, we can see that we do have some wallets holding several thousands worth of this token. So that begs the question, why are there still people that believe or think that this Launchpad could bounce back? Well, I have to be honest with you guys. I don't know at the moment. We're gonna have to find out. Moving over to their Twitter, as we can see, their latest piece of activity was at the 29th of March, and it was a retweet. Their first or their latest actual post seems to have been at the 21st of March, and it was an upcoming IDO called Play Wizardia. Now, if we move over to the comments, we can see that people are actually waiting. This is a real account, not a bot, saying I wait for the next IDO. And when I moved over to their Telegram, I saw well, not a lot of activity. They were talking last on the 10th of August, and there were investors, asking the developers, when are we going to expect another IDO on the platform? So there's definitely still a community of holders of the token, of interested people that want to participate and are patiently waiting for Hoppy to actually have a new launch. Now on their Twitter, it just completely died out. The same can be said about their Medium. They had almost 5,000 followers, which is a lot for Medium. And we can see here that their latest blog was all the way back at 21st of March. So they completely went off the radar from the 21st of March, and they were able to do that. Why? Well, also partially because they don't have a doxed team. So if you go over to LinkedIn, clearly you're not going to have a LinkedIn page. It's definitely not on the site. So they were very easily able to do that. We are not able to track them down. But again, that doesn't mean that they're not going to come back. Looking at their white paper, we can definitely see that what their intentions were, and they do set themselves up to be interesting in the future. So let's dissect the white paper to see if there's any meaningful indications that they might bounce back in the future, and really get a grasp of what this project is before making our final judgment if this project is still worth it, and if I think that it's going to bounce back, yes or no. So Hoppy for a greener future, one hop at a time. Hoppy's view on sustainable development. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. Statistically speaking, 2019 was one of the warmest years on record, bringing massive wildfires, hurricanes, floods, and other climate disasters across continents. Albeit followed by a drastic drop in human activities in 2020 due to COVID, the resulting 6% drop in emissions projected for 2020 still falls short. Now, again, they really focus on the green energy aspect of things. And again, I think it's good. I am not sure whether it is good to have that for a meme pad, as that is not the type of investors, for the most part, that are coming to your launchpad. You mostly have low-tier investors, bull run hype type of people. So I don't think that they are going to be very interested in your environmental concerns, although it is obviously very, very important nonetheless. We see here HOPPY's view on sustainable development. Based on global sustainability survey. Sadly, the concept of sustainable development goal is not yet well known. The average awareness is around 50%. 98% of respondents state that they know the term sustainability, but they are not familiar with the SDG framework and concept. Sustainable Development Goals, #13, climate action voted by individual, private, political, and educational section, which required the most urgent need for action. So again, this is already the second slide about sustainability. And this is going to be the third one. HOPPY's vision is purely about environmental concerns as well. So the first 3 slides are all about their environmental concerns. And moving over to HOPPY's mission, it's exactly the same. So this is slide number 5 that talks about environmental admissions. And again, it's good to have it, right? But again, not 5 slides. And probably not for a meme pad either. So thus far, very, very bad white paper. Maybe they turn it around. We're going to see HOPPY's features. Finally, they're talking about what they bring to the table for their clients. Meme-centric, riding on the current demand for meme cryptocurrencies, HOPPY aims to further spread the importance of green energy. There we go again. Give HOPPY a green home. Games designed to promote adoption of sustainable lifestyles and awareness. HOPPY gives back, donations to charities. Right, so again, we come back time and time again on what they do for the environment, that they give money to charities, that they think green is important. And again, it is important, but they have not, in the full 6 slides that we have covered just now, not once discussed what utility is there to the token, what is their vision outside of the charities they want to donate to, and what does HOPPY bring to the table. That's the type of stuff you need in your white paper, and this is slide 6 and we haven't seen it yet. We see here the revenue model, ads marketing in apps purchase, automatic yield generation from trading, and consulting incubation focusing on sustainable segments. This is very far from an actual revenue model. Let's go over this again. Ads marketing in apps purchase. What does that even mean? Automatic yield generation from trading. And from that, somehow we get consulting and incubation focusing on sustainable segments. Very weak, right? A revenue model has to be much, much more in-depth, talking about how does the money get created? How does the money then get spent for the further progress of the launchpad? And I'm not seeing that here in this model. So again, very weak. Then we see here a quick competition research overview. Now, I did look at Frog Finance, ApeCode, and SafeMoon. They're not launchpads, okay? So already whatever they put down in their research is irrelevant because it's not launchpads. It's comparing peaches with oranges. So their market cap might be much bigger and their platform might be different. But it's not a launchpad, so it doesn't matter. So very bad competition research. What would have been better if, for instance, if you compared yourself with other meme pads, such as MemePad or KingPad or other things like that, that would have been much more meaningful. Instead, they decide to compare themselves with Frog Finance, which is just not the type of company that I would like a comparison of. So that is that. The white paper does continue, so there is more to this. They finally, at slide 9, start talking about the HOP utility. So let's get into that. All right, so here we have, again, the utility of the token. And we already saw this on the website. This, by the way, is not a utility. Yes, it is that bad. So they put this as utility. This is not what token utility means, right? Again, they say 2% is donated to charities, 3% will be used for a liquidity pool, 3% is redistributed to all HOPPY holders. But again, this is not token utility. What this is a quick segment on where do the tokens get taxed upon, and what are the tokens used for. Token utility would be participating in the launchpads, having a guaranteed allocation, maybe being able to stake, do the farming, maybe participating in a DAO, etc. That type of stuff would be utility. So this is just out of place and just wrong. And again, it is not very meaningful to begin with. Then here we have the tokenomics at page 10. We see here again, we already went over the tokenomics, so I'm not going to move too deep into it. We do see the vesting schedule here as well. So 50% was to be released on token generation. The remaining 50% will be released at the 31st day after the token generation. So that was, I believe, the public sale for the pre-sale from the Oxbull. And that is it. So that's all the rounds that they ever did. They did the Oxbull pre-sale, and that's it. There were no private sales, no public sales. They did not have a seed round, so that is highly unusual as well. And yeah, and the team, let's see this. They are only getting a lock for the first month, and then already at 10% each month. So a very short lockup for the team. And then again, they also only get 5% of the token. So, I mean, touche on that. But yeah, already touched on the tokenomics, so we're moving on. Then they say here the HOPPY Meme Launchpad. HOPPY Meme Launchpad is the first decentralized IDO platform. Wrong, it's not. The platform opens up to investors not only incredible opportunities for earning. That is true. I mean, they did open up incredible opportunities. People made a lot of money with them in the bull run, right? But also based on the current demand of the economy, it uses the popularity of memes to spread the importance of maintaining the environment. Right? And then here, why HOPPY? The HOPPY Meme Launcher will offer a complete set of startup tools, including marketing, product fit development, and we have a team of consultants who work with an experienced startup team, Oxbull. An investor who owns HOP tokens provide you with the gateway to receive funds to participate in IDO. By launching IDO on HOPPY, you will meet thousands of new potential buyers from our ecosystem. All right, that's more so directed at the projects than the investors. And here you have the tiers. We already went over them. I feel like they look a lot cooler over there on the white paper. Here they removed all the colors. I kind of like the colors. So yeah. Maybe it was better if they held that. Here we have the roadmap. Again, this is, we already went over this. We don't know what year this is. Guys, just so you know, when you look at a roadmap, it needs to include the year where the roadmap is from as well. That's very important. We don't have that here. Then the team. I'm surprised we have a team docs. I mean, or a team page. We do have, look, names. Tsushuyu, 10 years of experience. Greeny. Windex, okay, so yeah, this is completely not doxed, obviously. So we don't have pictures, we don't have LinkedIn, we don't have last names, and I believe we don't even have first names. Windex. I don't think your mom named you Windex, right? So these are just nicknames. Again, understandable for a meme pad, but I wouldn't invest in a company, in a launchpad that doesn't have their team doxed. I would never do it. It's just not something I would recommend either. They do state a lot of years of experience, but again, we can never verify these years of experience. They could have just typed it out, and there's no way of verifying this whatsoever. So I'm not even going to go over it because I assume that it's all hocus pocus. I mean, if it is true, then yes, we have a lot of years of experience on the table, but without a way of verifying it, it is essentially useless. And then this, I believe, is the final slide. For a greener future, one hop at a time. HOPPY wants your help to develop sustainability. Right. So that is the white paper, very weak white paper. Again, the first 6 slides were just about emission. And it's good to have 1 or 2 slides on it. Maybe not right off the bat, but if that's the vision, if that is basically one of the USPs of the Launchpad, that's good, and it deserves some slides. But I mean, for a meme Launchpad and for 6 slides, it's a bit much. And the rest of the white paper and tokenomics, for that matter, was also very weak. So you can tell that this is just a Launchpad that was created during a hype bull run. It launched projects without a lot of vetting or work behind it, and they didn't need to, because it was a bull run, so almost every project went to the moon. And now that the market went bearish, the token went down in quality, they just kind of ditched the project. And as for the ultimate question that you guys have been waiting for, is the token going to bounce back? Do I think that the HOPPY Launchpad team is going to come back into the community, restart, start launching again, and will make a comeback? No, I don't. I think we've seen the last of it. I really do think that. I mean, they have just completely disappeared off the radar for many months now. The community is dwindling. I think that HOPPY Launchpad had its fun, and now it is just time to say goodbye. We can see, or we should be able to see, the projects somewhere. Let's see, visit pool. So we can take a look at everything that they have already done. And as you can see, they have done quite some projects overall. Like I said, a lot of these, usually around 2021, did make a lot of profit also. And but again, the later projects, not so much. And again, all of these projects are quite memey, very IGO related. We see here, for instance, Shiba Galaxy. Let's move in and see what the Shiba Galaxy token has been doing. Well, there you go, market data untracked, so we're not even able to track them down. Let's see here, for instance, Monster Battle, just trying to find out what the returns are on their prior projects, if it was any good or not. Here we see very low token price, and wow, this is just a scam project. Look at this, TGE 1 cent, and then the token just dropped and it never went up again. So this is just one big failure project, garbage, trash, bad. Floki Fam, let's check this one out. Floki Fam, let's see, is it even on here? It is not tracked. Okay. Girl Story, also a very debatable name. So yeah, I mean, we can see here just the overall quality of the projects are just garbage here. Market data untracked. Let's take a look at the Spartans. There we go. This is on also untracked. Okay, so I know enough. If you click on it, you don't get any information. So the only information that we have here is the website, the Telegram, and the Twitter of the project. Now this project doesn't even look that bad, but again, we have untracked market data. Moving over to the wallet, we can see that it does have some holders. So yeah, maybe this project isn't even that bad. And again, like I said, they did have some good projects, right? It wasn't all bad, but the prime of this Launchpad has long since passed, and I personally don't see it come back anytime soon, and that's a shame. So last, what I wanted to show you guys was the other utilities that they had on their website, real quick before we end off the video. See here if we can actually get there. Yeah, so they did have a farming option as well. They have one pool. Here you can just stake your tokens, or you should be able to, but again, it is not clickable, so it's not even possible to do it right now. Or is it? Can I enter amount? Okay, so it is possible to stake. Yeah, I think. I mean, I cannot type. Oh, I can. Okay, so the interface can be better. But yeah, staking is possible. So the farming option does work, although it's not entirely optimal, but that is quite all right. They do also have a daily quiz. I don't know what it is. Very interesting to see if it still is operable or not, of course, because they are inactive right now. So easy 3 steps, learn and earn. Hoppy holders hodl a HOP token in wallet, participate in the daily quiz. Okay, available reward, nothing to claim. Yeah, so they don't do this anymore. So they also abandoned their daily quiz function. Now this, by the way, was this type of stuff they should have put in their utility for the token, right? The daily quiz, the farming, the launches. So they just literally put the wrong things in their white paper, which is also why, again, I think that maybe their tens and tens of years of experience that they listed might not be really accurate as well. All right, so that was all for the HOPPY Launchpad. It's had its fun in the bull run. I don't see it bouncing back. Let me know in the comments if you think that I am wrong on this. So yeah, I figured let's do a meme pad once in a while. So next video is going to be another more serious launch pad. Make sure to put down the recommendations down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like, and then I wish you guys an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next one. Ciao, ciao.